attention switches to European competition now as, of course, the Champions League returns. Can, of course, Manchester United bounce back from the domestic woes with, of course, a shot at getting closer to the knockout stages? We'll deal with that and more next. Hi folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today we're looking forward to match number 4 over in this season's Champions League. Of course, we'll get to that in just one second. Of course, big shout out to my VRPs. Of course, they are the Patreons. And if you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe and keep your bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Champions League related, football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one Rooski, of course, the likes of Liverpool looking very, very good right now. Manchester City looking pretty good as well. But, of course, some difficult games on the rise. But Man United, of course, off the field, around the field, of course, got a bit of chaos going on around them right now. But, of course, can they respond with a game against Atalanta this week? Of course, we'll take a look at that in a minute. Of course, big shout out again to my VIPs. They are the patrons. But anyway, let's get into the deep end and have a little look then, shall we? Of course, kick it all off with a recap of last round's matches, of course, in the Champions League. Of course, Brugge got battered by Man City at home. 5-1 win for them to, of course, move Man City into second. PSG, big winners over RB Leipzig, 3-2 win for them, of course, yet to taste defeat. Meanwhile, Atlético Madrid got battered by, well, I will say battered, 3-2 win for Liverpool and a bit of a thriller there. Porto picked up a nice win over AC Milan to give themselves big old bit of hope, of course, in Group B. Liverpool, though, 100% success rate so far over there. Beşiktaş, 4-1 win, 4-1 loss against Sporting, of course. Ajax battered, of course, Dortmund to give themselves a big old boost. Of course, they're 100% success rate at the top of the table as well. Shakhtar Donetsk got battered by Real Madrid, 5-0 in the end on the road as well for Real Madrid. Meanwhile, Internazionale picked up a win over the Sheriff, of course, who remain in second spot. Of course, right now. Of course, Barcelona against Dinamo Kiev was a 1-0 win for Barcelona. Of course, that was with Koeman. Of course, this next match will be without Koeman. Of course, meanwhile, Benfica lost to Bayern, of course, who look very, very good right now, don't they? 100% success rate over in Group E. Kicking off forward, United did beat Atalanta. They responded. They were 2-0 down at half-time, came back out of it, 3-2 win. Of course, that was the beginning of the end of, well, not the beginning of the end, but the beginning of the turmoil, of course, or whatever. Anyway, Young Boys blown a 4-1 loss to Villarreal, big win for them as well. United are still top of the pops over in Group F. Meanwhile, Salzburg picked up a 3-1 over Wolfsburg to give themselves a shot as well over in Group G. Lille, Sevilla 0-0 in the end. And in Group H, of course, Zenit got beat by Juventus 1-0. Called it, folks. And, of course, Chelsea picked up a 4-0 win against Malmö, and I called it as well. So both those two sides looking good at the moment. Shall I count them up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 10, 10, 10, 11. I've got 11. I got 11 there. It's pretty good. Not that great, though, is it? Look at that. Hansworth, Pim, Cezi, and Carl Mucking got 13. So well done to you guys. Out of 16. That's not too bad there. Of course, the grand scheme of things, though, looks like this. Is Mr. Austin. Well done to you. Give me a round of a bloody pause, fella. Hansworth. And I'm a stringer with Pim up there with 30 as well. Of course, then the chasing pack. So kudos to the lot of yous. Of course, we'll keep on going on. Here we go. There's the tables then. Of course, PSG lead the charge for Group A. Liverpool in command in Group B. 100% success rate. As for Ajax, also 100% success rate as well. Sheriff, according to my eyes, is top of the pops here over Real Madrid, of course, mathematically or whatever. Meanwhile, Bayern, of course, in command in Group E. 100% success rate. Man United top Group F with, of course, Salzburg top in Group G and a very, very strange one there. Juventus top in Group H. Of course, if you want to get involved, use the website cut./UCL picks. It'll get you right there. Fill out the form, and of course, it is free. Get involved. Have a bit of fun. Get your name in lights. Of course, let's get into the next round of matches then, shall we? Of course, kicking on forward with the next round of matches. It will be RB Leipzig up against, of course, who are you? It's bloody PSG. This match takes place on Wednesday, I believe, which, of course, will be the 3rd of November. Of course, place of the 5 times 2014, 2 wins to Leipzig, 3 wins to PSG, and no draws. Of course, Leipzig comes in just one. What are we looking at? Back-to-back wins for them, 58% form for them right now. Meanwhile, PSG comes as unbeaten in the last 4, picking up just 1 defeat the past 6, 75% form for them right now. Of course, last time around over in Leipzig was a 2-1 win for Leipzig. It was back in November 2020 in Group H in the Champions League. Of course, however, it's been back-to-back wins for PSG, but both of those games were in France. Of course, Leipzig did beat Babelsberg in the old German Cup. As for PSG, they picked up a win against Lille last round. Of course, look at the odds on this one. What do we have on this one? We have Leipzig coming out 2-1 for the victory, 11-10 to PSG, 40-5 draw. It's quite tight, this one, but I'm going to give it a 2-2 draw in the end. Meanwhile, Manchester City also on the same day will take on Club Brugge over at the Etihad. Now, these two sides scored play each other just at one time. And of course, it was a big win for Manchester City. City coming to just one defeat. The past 5, 58% form for them right now. Meanwhile, Club Brugge coming to just one defeat, about 67% form for them right now. Of course, it was a 5-1 win over in Belgium last time around. Of course, Manchester City picked up a loss, though, against West Ham in the old Calabria Cup. It was on penalties, but of course, they were in action against Crystal Palace before this. Of course, Brugge did beat KMSK Donetsk over in the old Belgian League, Belgian Cup there, 3-0 win as well. They'll take on Saint-Germain as well, and also expected to win. Of course, the odds on this one, though, City are 91 on for the victory, 81 is your draw, 21-1 is your Club Brugge. I'm going to go with a 4-0 win on this one to take it. Next, of course, AC Milan taking on Porto again. This is in Group B, and again on Wednesday. Played the 2 times 2003, of course, 1 win apiece. Of course, AC Milan competition, 1 defeat past 5 games, 67% form for them right now. Meanwhile, 2 defeats past 6 for Porto, 67% form for them right now. Of course, last time around over in, of course, Milan. I don't think they've actually been in Milan, but of course, they did play each other last time around. It was a 1-0 win for Porto. They also played each other in the Super Cup all the way back in 2003. It was a 1-0 win for Milan as well. Milan picked up a 1-0 win over Torino last round. Of course, Porto did lose to Santa Clara Azores, and I believe that's in the Portuguese Cup last round. Of course, the odds on this one, we've got Milan 11-10 for the victory. Of course, they are your favourites. 5-2 is your away win, 12-5 is your draw. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for AC on this one. Next, of course, Liverpool up against Atlético. Of course, the reverse fixture to this one, of course, was a banger last time around. Of course, played the 9 times 2008. 5 wins for Atlético, 2 wins for Liverpool, and 2 draws. Of course, Liverpool coming to this very good 92% form for them right now. Haven't lost in 16. As for Atlético, they come to this without a win in 3. Goodness gracious me, 50% form for them right now. Of course, last time out was a 3-2 win for Liverpool. Of course, that was in Madrid. Last time played though in Liverpool was a 3-2 win for Atlético. Of course, that was in the round of 16 back in March. Of course, there's some bangers between these two sides, some real thrillers as well. Of course, Liverpool did beat Preston 2-0 in the cup last time. 1-2 clean sheets in the bounce. 3 clean sheets in the past 4 games for them. As for Atlético, they picked up a draw against Levante 2-2 as well. Of course, Atlético will take on Betis this weekend. They're expected to win. Liverpool will take on Brighton. They're expected to win this weekend as well. Look at the odds on this one though. 27-13 on. Liverpool are your red hot favorites. 3-1 is your draw. 4-1 is your long shot. Says Atlético 4-1. 4-1 for them. 2-0 win though for me for Liverpool on this one. Next, of course, we have Borussia Dortmund. They were doing on Ajax in the reverse fixture. A bit of revenge maybe on that one for a bit of a stinker. Last round. Pretty sure the 4 times 6-3 was for Dortmund. Of course, 1 win for Ajax. Of course, no draws. Dortmund coming to just 1 defeat past 6 games. 83% form for them right now. Ajax coming to this also 1 defeat past 6. 83% for them right now. Last time around, of course, was in Amsterdam. Was a 4-0 win. Meanwhile, last time played each other in Dortmund was a 1-0 win for Dortmund. That was back in September 2012. Of course, coming into this, Dortmund did beat Ingolstadt in the German Cup. As for Ajax, they picked up a 5-0 win over Eindhoven back-to-back. 3 clean sheets on the bounce for Ajax heading into this one. Of course, the odds on this one though, 7-5 is your Dortmund, 7-4 is your Ajax, and 5-2 is your. It's tight, airtight. I'm going to go there with a 3-1 win there for Dortmund on this one to take it to the house. Sporting will take on Beşiktaş in the same group, also same day as well. These two sides will play each other according to my eyes. 3 times in 2015, 2 wins for Sporting, 1 draw, nothing for Beşiktaş. Sporting coming to this 5 wins on the bounce, 83% form for them right now. Meanwhile, 2 wins in the past 6 games for Beşiktaş, 33% form for them. Of course, Sporting have actually won 3 home matches in a row. Of course, Sporting picked up a win last round. Of course, they also beat them last round in Portugal. It was a 3-1 win way back in December 2015 in the Europa Cup. Of course, Sporting Lisbon picked up a win over Famalicão. Of course, in the Portuguese Cup. Of course, Galatasaray lost a big, Beşiktaş picked up a big win over Galatasaray in the Superliga over in Turkey last time around. Look at the odds on this one then. We have got Sporting 2-1 for the victory, 3-1 is your draw, 5-1 is your away win. That's Beşiktaş. 2-1 win though for me for Sporting on this one to take the W and move the chains. Next of course, Real Madrid up against Shakhtar Donetsk over in the Bernabeu. Of course, played each other 5 times in 2015, 3 wins for Real Madrid, 2 wins for Shakhtar, and no draws. Of course, Real Madrid kept this unbeaten last 3, picked 50% form for them right now. Meanwhile, Shakhtar just 1 defeat past 6, 67% form for them. Also, last time played each other over in Spain was a 3-2 win for Shakhtar. That was back in October 2020. Of course, that was in the Champions League Group B. However, they did play each other in Ukraine, of course, last time around, 5-0 win for Real Madrid on this one. Of course, heading into this one, of course, Real Madrid picked up a 0-0 draw against Osasuna. Meanwhile, of course, Shakhtar did beat Chemnitz Odessa over in the Ukrainian Cup. Round of 16. Look at the odds on this one then. Real Madrid done 92 on for the victory, 5-1 is draw, 11-1 on, 11-1 is your long shot score. So Shakhtar Donetsk. I'm going to go with a 4-0 win on this one for Real Madrid. Now it comes a difficult one. It is the Sheriff Tiraspol up against Internazionale, of course, over in Moldova, I think it is. Of course, played just one time because a win for Internazionale last time around. Of course, matey boys, Sheriff come into this 83% form, just 1 defeat past 6 games. Meanwhile, Internazionale just 1 defeat past 6, 67% form for them right now. Of course, last time I was a 3-1 win over in Milan. Of course, the Sheriff did beat a 6-0 win over CSKA Saskan over the domestic cup there. Meanwhile, Internazionale picked up a 2-0 win over Empoli last round. Odds on this one go 12-1 for Sheriff. They are your underdogs. 4-1 on is your Internazionale, and 90-4 is your draw. The Internazionale should win this one. They should win this one, but of course, the Sheriff have got a couple of wins so far this campaign. And of course, those are the games that will take place on Wednesday. Let's go again, take a look at the games that take place on Tuesday. Okay, then second look at, of course, Bayern will entertain, of course, Benfica over the Allianz Arena, of course, locking horns for what will be the 7th time. The previous 6, though, 4 wins for Bayern, 1 for Benfica, and 1 draw, of course. Bayern committed just 3 wins in the past 5 games, of course, 6-7% form. That's a bit of a wobble in their regards, of course. Bloody hell. Of course, Benfica committed 58% form, just 1 defeat past 4 for them as well, of course, heading into this one. Last round over in the Allianz Arena was a 5-1 win for Bayern. That was, of course, back in November 2018. Of course, they did beat them also 4-0 win last round over in Portugal. Of course, Gladbach did beat Bayern this week, 5-0 demolition. Of course, they'll be looking to bounce back, of course, this weekend. They take on Union Berlin, red hot favourites. Of course, Benfica picked up a draw against Guadamares over in the Portuguese Cup. I think a replay is needed for that one. Of course, they'll take on Estoril this weekend. Of course, look at the odds on this one. We've got 61 on is your Bayern, 61 is your long shots. That's a draw. 41 is your even longer shots. That's, of course, Benfica on this. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for Bayern on this one to take it to the house. Next, of course, Dinamo Kiev up against the Ronald Koeman-less Barcelona, the Messi-less Barcelona, of course. Played each other 5 times, of course, since 2009. Of course, nothing for Dinamo Kiev. 5 wins Barcelona and 0 draws. Kiev comes to just 1 win and 1 defeat past 6. 75% form for them right now. Meanwhile, just 2 wins of the past 6 games for Barcelona. 32% form for them right now. Of course, Barcelona picked up a win last round in, of course, the Camp Nou. Of course, the last round in Ukraine was Ukraine was a 4-0 win for Barcelona back in November 2020. Kiev picked up a win against Mariupol, and of course, in the top flight over in Ukraine. As Barcelona picked up a 1-0 loss against Vallecano last round. Look at the odds on this one. We've got Barcelona coming at you 2-1 on for the Rich 11-2 is your host. Of course, 10-3 is draw. Barcelona are favourites. I'm going to give it to them as well. 2-1 win in the end. Next up, we have a bit of could be a stinker here. Of course, is Atalanta up against Manchester United over in the Gress Stadium. I played each other just the one time. Of course, it was a win for United. Of course, Atalanta coming to this just 1 defeat past 4 games for them. 58% form for them right now. Meanwhile, United coming to this just 1 win in 4 as well. 42% form heading into this one. Of course, it was a 3-2 win last round over in Old Trafford. Of course, Atalanta picked up a win against Sampdoria midweek. Of course, Man United did take that L against Liverpool last round. They'll take on Spurs as well this weekend. As well, with Atalanta taking on, of course, somebody. If not, they've already played. I don't even know. Let's take a look at, of course, the situation over in the bookies on this one. We have Atalanta coming out to 77 20 is your away win, 30-5 is draw. I think United will get a draw out of this one, which, of course, will probably delay any execution of any managers for them. Meanwhile, Villarreal will take on, of course, Young Boys Burner over in Spain. Good evening on this one. Played just one time. Of course, it was a win for Villarreal. Villarreal coming to 42% form for them right now. Of course, just 1 win in 4. As for Young Boys Burn, 1 win in 4 as well. 42% form heading into this one. Of course, it was a 4-1 win for Villarreal last round over in the Swiss. Of course, Villarreal picked up a 3-3 draw against Cadiz last round. Of course, Lugano beat Young Boys, of course, in the Swiss Cup round of 16. Of course, 50-8 on is your Villarreal. Red Hot Favourites 11-2 is your draw. 3-1 is your away win. Or 3-1 is your draw. 11-2 is your, of course, your away win on this one. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Villarreal to take it to the bank. Next, of course, Wolfsburg. They're going to be taking on Salzburg over in Germany. That's right. Of course, these two sides played each other 2 times since 2007, 1 win apiece. Of course, Wolfsburg competition 1 win in the past 6 games, 25% form for them right now. Meanwhile, Salzburg unbeaten in the last 23 matches. Good discretion me. They've won 5 of the past 6, 92% form for them right now. Of course, that's around, of course, was a 3-1 win in Salzburg. They also played a friendly, which doesn't really count. Of course, Freiburg picked up beat Wolfsburg last round 2-0 win in the Bundesliga. As for Salzburg, they picked up a 3-0 win over St. Polten over in the Austrian Cup round of 16. Look at the odds on this one: 7-5 is your Wolfsburg, 8-5 is your Salzburg, 11-4 is your draw. I'm probably looking at that. I probably would go with Salzburg, but I've gone with a Wolfsburg win on this one. But if I load that 23 game unbeaten, I probably would have flipped it around. Next, of course, was Sevilla. They were taking on Lille. That's right. Of course, these two sides could play each other 4 times since 2004. 2 wins for Lille, 1 win for Sevilla, and 1 draw. Of course, Sevilla came to just 1 defeat past 6 games, 58% form for them right now. Meanwhile, Lille just 1 win in 6, 33% form for them as well heading into this one. Of course, Lille picked up a 0-0 draw with Sevilla last round. Of course, last round in Spain was a 2-0 win for Sevilla back in March 2006. Of course, Sevilla picked up a 1-1 draw against Mallorca, of course, and Lille did lose to PSG last round. Sevilla 11-8 on for the Rich 94 is draw, 92 is your away win. Going to go with the hosts on this one, 2-0 win to take it to the bank. And it's the final couple here. We got Malmö against Chelsea over in La Sved. Of course, these two sides played each other 3 times in 2019. 3 wins for Chelsea. We got no wins for Malmö and 0 draws. Malmö just 1 defeat past 5 games for them right now, 58% form. Meanwhile, Chelsea 5 on the bounce, of course, 5 wins on the bounce, 83% form there for them heading into this one. Of course, last time around, of course, it was a 4-0 win for Chelsea. That was in Stamford Bridge. Of course, last time in Malmö was in the round of 32 in the knockout stages of the Europa League. It was a 2-1 win for Chelsea. Of course, Malmö picked up a 1-0 win over AEK, of course, over in La Suède. Of course, Chelsea picked up a 4-3, a penalty win over Southampton to go through to the knockout stages. Prior to that, they won 7-0 and they won 4-0 and they won 1-0. So 3 clean sheets, probably a 4th clean sheet. Did they have a clean sheet? No, they did. It was a draw. So 3 clean sheets the last 4 games for Chelsea heading into this one. Of course, Chelsea are a 5-1 on for the victory. 2-1 is your host. They are the underdogs. 11-2 is your draw. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for Chelsea on this one to take it. And then finally, it'll be Juventus taking on Zenit St. Petersburg over in Turin. Of course, played each other 3 times in 2008. 2 wins for Juventus, nothing for St. Petersburg, 1 draw. Juventus coming to just want to be about 6 games, 75% form. Meanwhile, St. Petersburg coming to this back-to-back wins, 50% form for them right now. However, they've only lost they've lost 3 of the past 5. Of course, last time around over in Juventus, of course, was a 1-0 win for Juventus. That was back in September 2008. They also won 1-0 last round. They've not conceded a goal against St. Petersburg over the last 3. Of course, St. Petersburg picked up a 4-1 win over Dinamo Moscow, of course, in the Premier League in Russia. Of course, Juventus did lose to Sassuolo 2-1 last round. They'll take on, of course, Verona this weekend with St. Petersburg probably already in action. I don't even know. Look at the odds on this one then. Juventus are 29 on for the victory, 72 is your draw, and 61 is your away win. That's, of course, Zenit. I'm going to go with hosts, 2-1 win, of course, to take a 3 points and, of course, move the chains. Might even be a clean sheet to boot. That is my picks. Be sure you get yours as well. Cut the /UCL picks. And that, my friends, is just about that. Be sure to give the video some love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Check the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and, of course, Patreon as well. But until then, give us some love, and I'll see you soon for the next one, whenever that may be. But, of course, be safe out there, and I'll see you soon next time around.